All right, ladies, we are back. We are back. We're going to be just spending the next few minutes letting you all hear some powerful wisdom from a lot of experience that is on this stage. You have heard from me, but I want to reintroduce to some of you all my dear friend. All these ladies are my dear friend. My dear friend Linda Wallace is here. Tell us a little bit about you. If you can grab the mic there, Linda, and how long you've been married. Share as much of your marriage testimony as you like.
So for me,
Are you on there?
hello. So for me, I'm just going to be transparent and put it out there. I've been married now for 29 years, but it's my fourth marriage. So
That
I've
speaks
walked
for itself.
that journey of married and being divorced. My husband has a background of multiple marriages as well, which in this generation isn't uncommon. I'm 70 years old this year. Hey, yeah. And I have 4 children because I include my daughter in love and 6 grandchildren. So a lot of life experience from blended family, from single parenting, the whole gamut of situations that I believe can serve a generation, an emerging generation of women, so that you can learn from mistakes. And it's more about not what to do, but what not to do that helps you to grow and to develop.
You know, as I listen to you, it is, and you absolutely are called to women, but I don't know how you feel when you say those 4 marriages. But what I hear is a story of total redemption.
It's total redemption.
That's amazing to me every time you say that.
Yeah, when I
Yeah.
tell you redemption, it's redemption. And I feel like, there's a scripture that says that it works death in you, but it produces life in others. And so because I have developed, or
Yes.
I have become
Yes.
so secure in my identity in God,
Yeah.
it's like none of that past ever existed.
Wow.
There's no stigma. There's
Come on.
nothing connected to me. There's no triggers. There's no memory.
Wow.
Because I'm a woman who lives in the now.
Wow.
I'm a now woman.
Yeah.
And so I'm enjoying the life that he has given me now. And the story is so special how Greg and I got together.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then we have my friend Susan Murphy. She's the wife of Apostle Terrell Murphy. If any of you all live here in Charlotte, you may be familiar with her husband. But tell us about how long you've been married.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Good evening, ladies. It's just wonderful to be here with
Yes.
you all. But I met my husband when I was 18 years old. We got married. I was 23 at the time. This year we'll be married 38 years. So we've been together a long, long time. We have 2 sons, have 2 daughter-in-laws, and we have 3 grandchildren. And the daughter-in-laws and the grandchildren, they've been added to our family in the last, I guess, going on 4 years. So our sons married, and they wasted no time in getting busy and having children. And we're so excited. We have 2 granddaughters and 1 grandson, and I'm just enjoying being a Gigi to the max.
Wow, wow. And next we have my BFF, Mrs. Marshita Anderson. Tell us about you, Mar.
Well, you all know me. I've been married for it'll be 41 years this year. And yeah, yeah. And I have 9 grandchildren. I have 3 children that I birthed and 1 that's adopted. And I've been knowing this, I was going to say this chick, but this pastor over here. She wasn't a pastor when I met her. But for 30,
About 3 now. now? Probably about 33
33 years. And so, I'm just happy to be here. I feel like I'm with family right now.
Yeah.
I feel like I know most of you. So, thanks for having me here.
And then we have Dr. Rico Wagner.
This is home for me. Home for me. This
Yes.
is my second home.
Yes.
I have been married to Sam Wagner 29 years.
Whoa.
Half my life. I was fine when I met him, though. I tell you that. But my heart, I always tell him that my heart went. I've been in. They said the heart is confined to a prison that you are solely connected to with your partner for 29 years.
Wow, that's
So
good.
we actually dated 8 months, and we was like what you said was what we waiting on. So 8 months, and we gave birth in the 9th month. We were married, and we have 4 beautiful children, and I have a grandson named Ace and a daughter-in-law named Cheyenne.
Wow. And I don't have any grandchildren and no sons-in-laws yet. But they should. And they're probably going to come one after the other. I get it. I get it. Well, I've got some really, I think some questions that are going to really bring some interesting nuances to this conversation, because I like to nuance things, because life is highly nuanced and marriage is highly nuanced. So let me see. Let me ask this. Rico, I feel like I want to ask you this question. Was there a moment where you realized that you needed to grow more as a woman and not just expect more from your husband?
Absolutely, and that's ongoing. That's still the case. It doesn't. Is that it right there?
Yes.
So it doesn't stop. That's the thing. We're in different phases of life. When he initially met me, a note card could have been okay with me. Probably not now because of so, but I had to mature. I had to start providing a safe place for him and watching how I responded. I borrowed trauma from people that may have had bad encounters in their marriage, and I started accepting them as my own when it had never even happened.
Wow.
So I had to realize I had to change how I responded, if that makes sense. I had to mature because I was asking him to do something that I wasn't willing to do for myself. And once I started doing that, and that's every day, we practice that. I believe in this. What you practice, you perfect. So you have to keep on going and realizing that as soon as I wanted to preserve peace and fight right, that's still going on.
It's ongoing.
It's ongoing. It never stops. And one thing I realized, it's just growth. That's just all it is to it.
That's right.
Divorce was not on the table. That's something we did agree on. I heard someone say, when you both can agree on divorce, then it will happen. Somebody has to disagree in that day or that moment. And when I heard that, that's when it was like, we know it's off the table. And like you said, today just ain't our day. Check with me tomorrow.
That's right.
Or in a couple of hours, not to be so emotional, because I'm emotional, and I had to learn not to be so emotional because I wanted him to respond to my emotions. So I had to pick up another language, which was faith in English, and that's the only 2 things I go with now. So I try to draw back when Rico shows out. When Rico show up, you be like, you know what? Same good day for Rico.
Okay. Let's see. What was the hardest for you to change about yourself in your marriage journey? Anybody want to address that one? Okay. Miss Susan.
Communication.
Oh, for you?
Yes.
Okay.
For me, it was communication. And for me, it looked like one of 3 things. It was either the lack thereof of it, getting upset on like, I just want to talk about it. And the second way it impacted us in a relationship, our marriage, was it also looked like talking too much. When the word tells us, be slow to speak, quick
That's
to
so good.
listen. And then the third way it impacted us in our marriage was that the tongue. the power of the tongue, saying all the wrong things.
Mm.
All the wrong things. So learning how to communicate with my husband in a way that it was pleasing to God, knowing that when it's pleasing to God, it's going to be pleasing to us.
Ooh, that's so good.
Amen. If it's pleasing to God, how we communicate, it's going to be pleasing to us.
I heard that's so good. I loved all three of those. Let me take a note of that. You said the first one was not talking enough, meaning avoiding issues
Yeah,
that
avoiding
you really needed to
issues.
speak to and needed to be spoken to. The
Exactly.
second one was talking too much, saying too much.
Yes.
You know, and then the third one you said was, what was it there?
The power of the tongue.
Just understanding the
saying
power
wrong
of your
things.
tongue. Yeah,
Absolutely,
cutting.
the wrong
Yeah,
things.
saying things that
Know the power.
yeah, that tear down and not build up. I heard you say something that's one of these last wife class, one of the ones you did with me, and I haven't told you, I literally adopted that. When you said that you would not, when you talked to your husband, you realized you were talking to a son of God first, and that stuck with me. That next leveled me. And I literally think of that, when I'm talking to my husband. I realize I'm talking to a son of God. How am I talking to him? And yeah, village talk, y'all, when you get around wise women, we never stop learning and growing. And this is the power of settings in rooms like this, and which I'm extremely committed to for the rest of my life. I've been on all kinds of platforms, but anymore, what are y'all pointing to? Oh, I'm sorry. They're trying to give you all a different mic. We're playing charades.
Can I speak to that?
Yes,
too,
go ahead.
Jeanette, a little bit about how I honor Greg in that way because he is God's son.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I'm God's daughter. There's a way we want to be spoken to and talked to as well. And we can be condescending and we can go there. But the other thing too is not doing anything that pulls him outside his identity. And God has given him an identity. So I don't have a right to try to give him another identity other than the one that God has given him. So that's why you need to know who your husband is. I often tell women, don't ask for a husband, ask for a son. If he's secure in his identity, it'll be a whole different experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's so good. So good. So, next question. What actually shifted in your marriage when you began to show up differently? Anybody want to address that?
Well, I showed up before the marriage.
Okay.
We met and got married in 6 months. And God had done a lot of healing in my character, in my identity. I already knew I was loved. So I showed up with that posture of my heart when we came into the marriage. But that came because of the failed attempts before.
Yes.
So by the
Yes.
time I got married to Greg, the Lord I had done a lot of work. So there was already a standard that I
Yes.
was carrying. So it wasn't a hard adjustment for him to carry that standard too.
Wow. Right.
Yeah. So if you're not already married, act like a wife now. You don't become a wife when you actually get married. You already behave like a wife. He said when he finds a wife, not a girlfriend, not a boo-boo, when he finds a wife,
Yeah.
he finds a good thing and obtains the favor of the Lord. So already carry yourself postured
Right.
as a wife.
Let me clarify that because I've had this conversation with my children. It's a thing. Basically, don't be doing wife duties and have wife responsibilities before you're married. So one of my girls asked me, in this whole social media, listening to everything world, in this in this podcast world, Lord Jesus, some popular thing was out there about these young ladies feeling like they've got to demonstrate their wife material to these young men, by showing, like hang at his house, cleaning his house up, doing his laundry, some stuff she was talking about. It's like, well, how else does he know your wife material? I was like, clean your own house up. Let him come to your house and see your house is clean. Let him come to your house and see your laundry is done. See how you manage yourself and your money. That's how he'll know, not you doing that for him. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I want to speak to the other thing about that. I think that when we're in courtships or we're coming through phases of relationship, many women treat the relationship like a marriage before they're actually married.
Absolutely.
So then you get into the habit of doing things that you should be doing once there's that commitment.
Absolutely.
So, the possession, the arguing, that there's just a lot of things. Enjoy the courtship, enjoy being pursued, don't go through the phases too fast.
Absolutely.
Until by the time you get married, you're too familiar with each other.
That's good. That's good.
Just right on. I just wanted to add, Linda, that what we often tell our couples, our families, is that don't date to marry, marry to date. Study courtship versus dating. There's dating nowhere in the Bible. So there is a difference in courting and dating.
Wow.
So don't date to marry, but marry to date. Why do it all when you're dating? Wait till you get married. And then you got time.
That's irresistible when the mic got to show out when you about to say something.
Yes.
You just said something so important. I know when we counsel or talk to married couples or are about to be married, we really talk about that I do stage, the pre-I do. We don't do post-do-I's because those post-do-I's, do I marry? Do I leave? No, I do is so important. It's a covenant exchange. It's not just I feel like getting married today and then I'm going to get divorced the next day because that's the time we're in. But the question was, I started to show up differently.
Yeah.
When I needed my atmosphere to change. You know what I mean? I needed to be seen and not just heard. And you know what I mean? You want to walk away feeling like this is a partnership. Partner even when I'm wrong or when I'm right, but it's a partnership. So I had to start showing up differently because you said something so important, Apostle Jeanette, when you said, I'm the dominant voice. I can change how he sees you.
Absolutely.
And I had to be
How he sees
careful with
everything.
that because I can make him not want to go somewhere because I don't want to go.
Yes, ma'am.
Or not eat something because, it's that influence.
Absolutely.
Realize, and when you said a son of God, when you taught that in Aruba, I was like, Jesus, he's Lord and he's the son of God. Jesus, I got some work to do. But you know what I mean? But I had to be very intentional about my change when it came to improving the marriage. I was so focused on what he needed to do, and I
Yes.
started putting all of his needs before God's needs. And I had to change the order, God first and then him. And once I started realizing that even if stuff happens, I don't get upset anymore because I'm not emotionally connected like that. I'm faith connected. And I had to start replacing I with we and all those things. So definitely I had to show up different. And when I started showing up different, It wasn't a shift. It was just an atmosphere change.
Yeah.
It was not. It was not a shift. It was a true atmosphere change.
I want to come in on that too because, you know, I was that person who was that wife before not a wife. And so I did all the right things to be a wife before I was a wife. And then I had to backtrack and say, wait, you need to buy the cow. You know, you're getting out the milk. I'm doing everything. So now I need you to come. Now you got to make decision, hubby, or because I was thinking of him as my husband, but he was not necessarily thinking of me as his wife. You know. And so then I had to back that thing up and say, okay, wait, we got to stop this. We got to start again because, or I'm out of here. And so what I want to encourage the singles to do is to not do that. Don't have to backtrack, you know. Be a friend. I encourage my girls, be a friend. You know, yeah, go out to eat. Pay for your own meal. See if you really like them. Maybe you like to eat at Ruth Chris, and they like to eat at McDonald's. You know, figure that out ahead of time. That's what I'm saying. You know, so don't make that mistake and be that wife too early before you're just a friend, just for your, as you say, not dating, but as you're just being around these, and get to know their friends, get to know their family, because you may not be equally yoked with that family, you know. So I want to say that, and then on the part about the change, for me, when I started changing, it took the chaos out, and it brought peace.
Wow.
You know, because I was chaotic. I looked cool and calm, but I was not. And so I was throwing chaos into our relationship, into our marriage, when what we really needed was peace.
Yeah.
So that's what change will do. It will shift, as Rico says, the whole atmosphere of your household, everyone in your household. Even if you have to, if you have children, turn the TVs off. Turn off the noise, you know? So that's what it did for me. When I started changing, it just shifted.
It shifts,
like Rico
yeah.
said, the whole atmosphere.
Absolutely. Yeah, it shifts. They literally have to respond to a different person, right? So where do you, after all the years of marriage, we got 100 and some odd years of marriage, almost 200 years of marriage and experience are on this stage. Where do you still have to be intentional, even like now?
So for me, I have to remain intentional about spending time in the presence of God. That's a non-negotiable, because otherwise you start looking to them to meet a need that only God can meet. And then you start to get frustrated and irritated, and even if you're not saying it verbally, you know, that brother ain't took me out for a while. Where's my flowers? You start looking for all this external validation, right? And I find that when I stay full of God's presence and God's love, I'm not even concerned about what he hasn't done or isn't doing or any of that, because I'm already feeling well loved. Now, that doesn't mean I don't communicate to him, okay, because they can be kind of slow. It could be, you know what I mean? It could be like, when the last time we did that? Exactly. Yeah, give them the remote, bring them a burger. You're not getting no movie night, you know. And my husband is an introvert, so, and he can be reclusive, right? He's gotten way better. But I find that for me, it's just cultivating that atmosphere internally in me, in the presence of God, so I can be full without depending on him to meet that need or meet that void in me.
For me, it's remembering that, y'all ready for this, ladies? It is marriage is not to make us happy, but it's to make us holy. Uh-oh. Did you say that I'm not going to be happy in my marriage? The thing about when we remember that is marriage is to make us holy, not to make us happy. When we operate in that way and remember that God blesses our marriages with so much joy, which is the next level, a greater level than happy. It's a greater level. We're blessed with joy. And then secondly, is I always have to be intentional, just like I'm intentional about my relationship with the Lord. I have to build that relationship daily. I have to stay intimate with the Lord. I also have to do that in my marriage as well. I have to cultivate my marriage. I have to cultivate my marriage as the helpmeet that God has called me to be.
Speaking to the singles out here, you need to be intentional about being who you are, who you've been called to be every day, so that when that person does come up, you will know who they are and they will see the light. They will see the God in you, and that will call to them. You know, don't forget who you are trying to be somebody else. So be intentional and being present in your own life, remembering who you were raised to be, who God calls you to be, who your parents raised you to be. And then that person will come along and you will know who it is when it happens. Trust me. You don't have to go hunt them down. Don't do that, because you'll never find them. It says, I think the Bible says when a man finds a good wife, right? Okay. So they're looking even when they don't know they're looking. In my own marriage, I give what I want. So I'm intentional about giving what it is I want. What do I want? I want to be stroked. I want my husband to tell me I'm beautiful. I don't get it, but I get other words like, are those new shoes? That means you look good in those shoes. Is that a new outfit? That means I like you in that. Wear that again. Okay? And so, but what I do with my husband, I am very intentional with saying, ooh, you look good today. Ooh, you know, you're second only to God. I tell him that all the time. No, you are second only to God, because that's what he wants to hear. And especially the moments like we're going through right now, you know, we have a great life, but we're kind of transitional. He doesn't know what he wants to do at all right now. And for a man, that's a hard place to be in when you're vibrant. He's 66, I'm 60, I'll be 65, he'll be 67. And this year, I know, right, when that happened. And so, but he's still very vibrant. He has a lot to give. And so I have to constantly remind myself to be intentional about reminding him who he is, you know? And so for me, I keep myself in check with who I know who I am. I don't have to remind myself, okay? But I do have to remind him. So I think that's where I am. And so I just want you singles, you young ladies, to remember who you are in the kingdom, who God says you are, because you're a lot, and you're a lot to handle, and you're worthy. You are worthy of more. Your value cannot be measured. And when you let somebody put a measure on you, you just messed up.
Since you was just talking to the singles, I just want to say this to the singles, and then I'll talk about the intentionality of where I am in cultivating a culture, a new culture for the Wagner household, because we're single, we're empty nesters now almost. And well, let me just start there. We just went on vacation last week in Florida to see our grandson, and I cried. And I was so emotional because this was our first true vacation without kids, like our kids, because everybody grown and got their own stuff. And he was like, "What is wrong?" And I said, "We ain't got nobody to talk to." And he said, yes, we do. We could talk to each other. But I realized then how I did mother so well. And now I just want to be the wife. And realizing that at our age, we can't go stand in line 3 hours at a amusement park. That's just plumb hazing and crazy. But we did it. But I was just telling him, we getting old. Like, what we going to do now? But, I mean, it just hit us all of a sudden. Everybody has started to do their own thing. And they're doing what we raised them to do, survive, go out and do those things. But now I have started to study him even more. Like, he is my subject now. So I know what he likes. Before he gets to the table, if he used the bathroom, I already ordered his drink. I already know what he likes because I've started to study him more. And I think if I do that, he'll do it too, because he won't say, girl, what kind of hairstyle you got today? Because I've had 3 hairstyles this week. It's amazing. I have just shown out, okay? But we get to do it. Isn't that fun? I learned that too. Because he came in today, he was like, oh, okay. And I felt like I'm really enjoying the wig stage, the ponytail. But then I love short hair. I just love short hair. But it's just, I am discovering all these things I didn't like to, about yourself. Like, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to do it. So I'm having fun. But, like, I get to be her again. Does that make sense? So I'm loving her. So, yeah, honey, yeah. So he'll say, I like those shoes. That, instead of saying, girl, you look sexy in those shoes. I had to learn, and, I heard Apostle Linda say something about his love language now is me not fixing his plate, but like going to the cleaners for him, like running errands. He acts of service is where he is now. So I didn't think about the servitude, and I am into the compliment stage. At one point in time, I didn't need him to say, but I do like that now. Now, just to do a little switch with the single ladies, and my daughter being one of them, I was talking to her. She's 31, and she was just saying, nobody out here good to date, and it's just different now when you were dating and that. And I said, Adam always had an Eve. Eve always had an Adam. Only person single was the snake. Soon as you get rid of that snake language, he will find you. Get rid of all that negativity and what he da 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 da. And she looked at me and she said, sorry, mama. But think about how we say things. So I'm intentional about saying what I want to see, even when I don't see it. I start speaking it, and then I just start just acting it out until it manifests. Everybody's good on that anticipation stage, but that manifestation tear them up. It tear me up. Like I mean, I don't know. What we talking about? Cause we at that age now.
I think what you can see after all of these years of marriage, as soon as you stop being intentional, you go into default mode, which is going to be just like roommates. It's not going to be satisfying, right? It's created. It's cultivated. It is intentional. You've got to put the work in. And oftentimes, we already talked about it. Wisdom is the woman. I want you to embody that. I want you to see that you are the wisdom in the house. You're the wisdom in the house. You're the understanding in the house. And oftentimes, you are the one that is going to control the temperature, the thermostat, and shift that relationship into the next dimension. Just own it. Stop it. Why? I did it for years. And when I saw myself correctly and the grace that was on my life as a woman, and I saw that's my assignment. That's what I do in here, right? And literally I own that. I don't just own that in my home, in my marriage. I own that in my whole house, right? I'm the life of my house. When the children come home, Everybody looks to mama to create the holiday, the life, the fun, the smell goods, the taste goods, the whatever. That's who you are. Own that, sis. It's a part of your identity. It's the grace on you. My husband, where I have to be intentional, and I know he's a lot of y'all's pastor, so don't tell him I told y'all. But I call him. He is the best special occasion lover. Oh, special occasions, that brother knocks it out the ball park. Valentine's Day, my birthday. You've been a part of my birthday trips. Dr. Dexter Howard knocks it out. Christmas, any other special occasions, he is phenomenal. But that's just 2 or 3 times a year. It's 365 days of the year. Literally, if I left it to him, that's about it. I'll be just looking forward to Valentine's Day. Oh, 300 more days, my birthday's coming. So, but I've recognized that over the years. I mean, he's awesome with that. He really, really is. But there's a lot of other days. And the other days, it's for him, it's literally, he's a soldier. It's grind, it's work, it's vision. Let's do it, let's get it done, and come home and sit on the couch and watch TV. And that's just the way he does, right? So I'm the one that has to be intentional. I create the spark. I bring y'all know that. Psst. I do that, right? And so I've owned that. And that's just what I do, right? And he enjoys it. But I've owned that, and I'm intentional about that. So I'm not just, and I really got very intentional about it as we were approaching empty nest. It scared the living daylights out of me. Because mother, oh my God, we've raised 6 children. And mother was like, what in the world? This big, house that we downsized. But, I was like, I'm going to be in this house. And my husband, he's an only child. He doesn't talk. He talks a lot public. You think he looks like he's an extrovert. He's not. He could spend days and not talk. Now, he's not angry or anything. He just doesn't talk. And so I could get around that because I'm in a house with 6 girls. We talk all day, all night. I have no problem with somebody to talk to, but now they're all gone. And I'm just going to be in an empty house by myself. And boy, I started shifting things intentionally. By the time empty nest came along, we just totally enjoying it now. But I did that. Y'all get what I'm saying? And it's okay to say, I did that. I shifted that. Because I owned my role. I owned that, right? And so that's what I would love for you to do. What I would love to teach you wherever you are in your marriage. Own your power, sis. It's a divine enablement from God. Own it. I'm going to end with this segment. My husband last night, we had this thing, Excel Givers Circle. We introduced this certain level of givers at the ministry, and we invited them out. We had a dinner for them last night, and it was so good. My husband taught on the grace of giving. It was so good. And he talked about giving actually being a grace, a divine enablement. Because in the flesh, we don't want to give. In the flesh, we're selfish. Mine. And so for the person who gives so generously like that, it's a divine enablement from God. And then Paul commanded them to excel in it, meaning to be intentional about taking it to the next level. You've got that grace on your life now. Now grow it. Do it intentionally. Take it to the next level is what he was saying. And then he used Jordan, which was such a great example. He talked about Michael Jordan, who everybody knows, and he had this otherworldly gift that was on his life. If you're too young to know who he is, look him up. But he still is unsurpassed, just from what I understand. He had an otherworldly, I had the benefit of watching him play, you know, because I grew up during those times. So he probably not too much older than me. But anyway, and so it was otherworldly. And it was clearly, it was a gift from another source, another realm that had been deposited in him. But he just didn't rely on the giftedness alone. He put up 30 shots. I mean, I'm 30, Lord Jesus, 1,000 shots, at least 1,000 shots a day. He didn't rely on the gifting alone. He intentionally excelled in it. And so what hopefully I've shown you tonight through the scriptures is that this grace of wisdom, understanding, and so many other graces are on your life as the feminine spirit, as just by virtue that you were born with more estrogen than testosterone, makes you a woman. Right? That's what makes you a woman. You were born with this reproductive system and all this other stuff, a whole biochemistry that is totally different than a man's. It makes you a woman. You've been endowed with a grace from God. Now learn about it. Intentionally excel in it. See it as a superpower. Use it to build your house, not tear it down. Does that make sense? Use it. Some things have been revealed to you tonight and you didn't see yourself that way. Now you see it. Now pursue more wisdom. Pursue more knowledge. Pursue more understanding. What you've learned, I dare you to practice it. I dare you to go home and practice one thing you've learned. And I promise, it happens every wife class. I get testimonies at the wazoo. Oh my God, I did different. Oh, he did this. Oh my God, he can't wait. Oh my God, he responded different. Yeah, he sure he did. You got the power. Nobody ever told you. You never saw your mama didn't know she had the power. If she had known, she would have used it better. But she didn't know because she never saw anybody do it. That's why I'm here. That's why wife class exists. This is why I do this. Because I want to be for some women what I desperately needed somebody to be for me. Because the first step is exposure. Right? And I'm leaving a whole bunch of stuff for my 6 daughters. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. We're about to wind the evening up. Thank you all. Give them a big hand. Thank you guys.